Words cannot describe it. All the most elite families in the world name the death camps after themselves. Yeah, in Rothschild Vienna, does not matter what religion you're in, if you're a powerful and clever person, you try and steal from all of the world's simpletons by killing them in the great conflicts. Auspitz, the richest and the most wealthy money lending families in the world, now totally covered up. So, it's George Lees again. Okay, it's taken me ages to get all this evidence wrapped up. I'm gone back to the Austrian Nobility tab, yet because I've discovered that when the Jews come out of that little cabal there, Rothschild, Arnstein, Escalés, Gompertz, Kumpfner, Leiben, Auspitz, Schavon, Koromla, Todesco, Werthemstein, Weirness, the elevation into the nobility of the wealthy Jews started the process of assimilation of Jewish families into the Austrian upper class. Yeah, that's them that are supposed to be persecuted in the ghettos. And there's the Florida tab that allows me to show you that all of the Jews are in fucking Palm Beach partying with Donald on the golf courses, and that includes the Untermeyers that started and extended World War I by 2 full years. Yeah, the first Jews on the Supreme Court before Bill Clinton, yeah, the Queen's half-brother, put 3 more on there. Yeah, it's all about divide and conquer. Yeah, and that's why the Todd Mafias have been taken down. Sadly, Jock Todd in my hometown had a very, very serious kidney fault. Yeah, and he has now taken all of my rugby playing colleagues who were the Kelso Harlequins off Facebook because it was a vent to get the truth out on how this world has been run. And Jock Todd is just a simple man, a tractor driver in the region. Yeah, but all of them are obligated to dedicate their lives to extending this absolutely evil issue. Okay, so this is the 1919 declaration that the elite families, and this is the first tab I've got on Austria and the master race, and that will be familiar to you because that is the Palace Kinski in Vienna, belonging to the princely Kinski family that become the actors in the prostitution films about Paris, Texas. Yeah, and the Herzogs, who are in the making of most of those bizarre films about having orchestras in the Amazon region. Yeah, all of it is totally sick, and look at the pads that they run in Vienna. Yeah, I'm going to take you to Vienna to show you that the Auspitz family are operating from there, and it is the I've not heard from my mate Nicholson, who was Dr. Nicholson and worked with me at Welcome. He went to Canada when the funds were running short and our company was actually busted and rendered insolvent and sold off to a French company. So Russell Nicholson got in touch with me the other week with David Frenkel, and they are both in the, so that sadly Auspitz is in Nikolsburg. Yeah, Helen Nicholson was my lethal colleague in, not lethal, but very, very evil. She was the one who had me sacked for trivial abuses of protocol when I made my department the best in the 3 university campuses between Christchurch and Wellington. And sadly, the Welsleys are in the Austrian nobility too. It's absolutely sickening. That is the Duke of Wellington, who's still on the board as Wellesley Wood for the Ritt Company for Rothschild, since they brutalised, all of those countries in that Napoleonic conflict, so that all of the central banks could be taken into Rothschild hands. And that is the Vienna central bank that was in the hands of Solomon Rothschild, who lived in the hotels for all of his life so they could shag the illegitimate women, children rather, not the children getting shagged, but the bastard children that were launched from all of Hitler Rothschild's relatives' loins, and the papal loins that we've told you about, that lead all the way to Pope Benedict from the Rothschilds and the Bacharachs of Frankfurt. Yeah. Right then, so let's get on. There's huge lists. So I'm going to make a separate video just to show you what Auspitz gas is, but they will not let you see what Auspitz is. And the only thing that you can learn in English on Wikipedia is that Auspitz is a famous dermatologist, and he is the man who discovered the disease that I suffered from because I was such a nervous child, psoriasis. It's related to nervous energy, and when you calm down, the psoriasis tends to go away. So it's in the teenage period, like the period when you get all spotty. Okay? Stress and hormone related. Okay? Auspitz's sign is the appearance of punctate bleeding spots when psoriasis scales are scraped off, named after Heinrich Auspitz. Yeah? Yeah? In the same region, yeah, just to the north as Auschwitz. The joke about killing all of the Jews. Yeah, and this is about Jews that are elite Jews. And there you've got all the stuff that is only in German, yeah, and you cannot get that to translate. It's a massive cover-up, okay, and it's taken me ages to find this. I knew it was there, and I knew that it was part of the Austrian scam, and there is the Adel von Auspitz, and that leads to the elders on the lists. Yeah, and even the folk in the pub are trying to divert me, because I don't know how they read the future, but they were talking about all the same topics that I've been looking at today, last night, and it happens every day, yeah, with my hosts. Yeah, and all of them can get access to the future, and none of them use it to make the future any better for us, so far. Okay, so let me show you a little bit more as we scan down. So this is the Frun Abraham S. Auspitz and Nachkommen. So I looked up Auspitz on Wikipedia, and this is the whole of the story, but all of it is in fucking German. And there's the genealogy page, and if I could get into that, it would be really fascinating. Okay, and all of the Führer derivatizations and all of the bear baiting, yeah, that is the bears that are the Rothschilds again. Okay, Doblinger Friedhof, and that is the Frieds. Bradley Friedel is on the court of the Bank of England. He's the deputy to Mark Carney. Yeah, there's the Nicholsburg joke. It's in the Doctor's film about with Harrison Ford, the Aryan master race man, and that is Dr. Nichols, who runs the scandals of the drugs that have had the results faked up. Yeah, and he fights to his death with him and throws him through the skylight after he drags him out of the pharmaceutical meetings that I used to attend as a serious contender to make new drugs and to save lives. Yeah, okay, so let's go down and see. There is Lazar Auspitz, nice looking guy. Judischer Friedhof von Nikolsburg, Am 1926. The Jewish cemetery joke all over London, all over Skokie, Illinois, in The Usual Suspects, which is a film that features the Peasel family Bible fraudsters running narcotics in America, featuring all of the members of the families that were in Naples. Yeah, when the Bible was being written by the relatives of these people who have now become Jews because Arius Calpurnius Piso was the Jew that wrote the Christian Bible, and Herod was in the Roman court helping him. Yeah, Abraham Auspitz and Nachamen bear baiting. Yeah, do you get that? All the bear jokes in the circuses are the Rothschilds. Yeah, and the bear pharmaceutical companies, and all of it is in fucking German, so nobody can learn. And there's the Gompertz Jewish moneylenders, yeah, that are on the top of the list in that 1919 statement that all of you are going to have to change your names or hide your identities so you can carry on being leading citizens, and we're going to erase you now to the aristocracy, and I'll explain that when we get to the English tabs. There is Nachamen des Lazar, yeah, do you get all of the banking groups of Auspitz, Bearbeiten, Keltext, Bearbeiten. Yeah, I'll read you the whole of the translated version of it in the next video. Josephine Gompertz, the Jewish families that are the moneylenders, like the Tedescos, who are relatives of the Fishers, and the Fishers have got their hair up in the bun, yeah, and that is why, yeah, they've died so young in a spate of deaths recently. Okay, it's only my opinion, of course. But Stephen Fry, there's a pretense that Stephen Fry, with the Austrian master race title, yeah, because Friedel, yeah, and all of the fried jokes, all of the fried Eggenburgers, yeah, all of it is out of these elite families who are now the world owners. Yeah, and you should see the setups that they have got, and the massive hotels like Donald that they have got in Palm Beach. Not got time for that one today either, but Donald's in Naples, in Florida, yeah, is in Palm Beach, and all over those places the massive Austrian links to the hotel chains, and the Jews, the poor ones, were not allowed into even the lobby. You have to be in the world owning teams, yeah, to get in there. Thank you, David Frankel, for buying me my dinner at the Queen's Head. Theodor Gompertz, 1832 to 1912. Rudolf Auspitz, 1837 to 1906. Henrietta Auspitz, in Vienna. Yeah, the wine joke. Those are the Frankfurters that are the wines in the Frankfurt ghetto. Yeah, Josephine Gompertz in Werthamstein. Doblinger Friedhof, Franziska von Werthamstein, Massenin, yeah, Geistankreit, August Eisenmenger, Werthamstein, and Auspitz Enkelund Bankier, Louise Auspitz, Karl Bettelheim, pianist, Kammersanger in Sophie Gompertz, Freiherr, Friar, you get it? Edward, yeah, that's the most beautiful woman in the world. And I've got my pharmacy colleague further down the list. She's the one that sacked me for incompetence in Boots the Chemist, and she's the most beautiful woman I've ever met in my life. I hope that does not irritate any of the people I meet later on. Unternehmer, yeah, not Untermeier in this case, under philanthropics, yeah, speculants, speculative on the stock market since the 16th century in Frankfurt. Baron Pirbright of Pirbright Ernandt, yeah, and the Warners, Johann Heinrich Boyer Warner, yeah, the son of a shoemaker joke in the Jumanji films. Yeah, all of the Warner Brothers output is about fascism, and they are the propagandists through all the war. Anna Tedesco. Right then, so it's all in fucking German. Dr. Monica Holzapfel in Lausanne, Auspitzes, and now we get Samuel Auspitz, Bankhouses, Auspitz, Leiben and Co., Auspitz Stiftet die Stiftung für Nebenmagen. Yeah, it's all in German. And there's the Arten eggs, and the Easter egg jokes for the Rolling Stones, and guess what? The Jaggers are in the Austrian nobility. Josephine Rosalie Auspitz. Yeah, let's get down and there's pictures. Auspitz von Artenegg. Yeah, the eggs. Yeah, and they were talking about that in the pub too last night. Yeah, everything. Yeah. In Besitz des Stefan Edler von Auspitz, and these are people that have served in the British forces all over the world. They told me that they respect Prince Philip and all of the profiteers and all of the sexual deviants that are prepared to kill their daughters-in-law in the royal family and to asset strip the whole of Europe using the Bilderberg movement and everything that means that the troops do not need to be feared, yeah, because the leaders are much more greedy, but they're much more turned on with strategic planning than anybody who's in a uniform or even in the secret services, in the spying sector. All of them tried to get me in communication with people from Australia last night or in the Philippines, and it's just trying to divert my time into useless causes. Okay, so Bearbiting, yeah, I don't know where the translation is. Heinrich Auspitz, yeah, Ignaz Auspitz, Adolf Auspitz, yeah, the man who drove the Jews into the trains, and the train, yeah, is an elite family in the Austrian nobility too. Right then, Lost Auspitz im Jar. Yeah, every one of those yellows is Auspitz. That's how I got to the page again. Doblinger Friedhof, Bearbieten, Auspitz, Helene Auspitz, Marie Auspitz, Leopold Auspitz. You remember the Rothschilds, the Leopolds that were the emperors of Austria, kidnapping King Richard the Lionheart. Yeah, and all of it is a false story. It was not in the original story, and that is the story about the silent movie that won the Oscar when I came back in 2012 after the Stammering King had won it for the great genocide that all of this is. Windsor and the Robertian lineages, just to know it's us, Bertie. Right, so the translation is not on that page, nor are the maps. I thought I'd put the maps on it. English please, yeah, like the usual suspects movie. The Auspitz family is one of the oldest and the most important Jewish families in Moravia, yet the Protestant Merovingians that raised the Protestant nations up against the Catholic nations, and then they sweep all across Europe and they launch the banks run by Jocelyn Hambro that take us into the SOE and the treason in World War II in Norway, and the closure now of the Hambro banking empire, because it's not good news for the Queen that she is being exposed as part of this massive genocide, and then they sell the fucking puppies, yeah, to the war dead every 11/11. Yeah, the members of the Viennese bankers family Auspitz, yeah, and their branches Auspettelin von Artenegg as well as Noble von Auspitz go back to them. Okay, offspring of Lazars. Yeah, the banking group launched by Rothschild, one of the first in America. Lazar Auspitz, yeah, line noble of Auspitz, bankhouse, Auschwitz, Loves and Co. Yeah, Theresa May's husband is in the Lovelace banking empire. Yeah, and she is a brazier, and the braziers are in the Austrian nobility, and they were in the rugby club that I played for in Rothschild's Hertfordshire, where my son was born. Yeah, Charlie Brazier was the treasurer of the club, and he was a real tight fist, and his daughter is now acting really eccentrically because she knows all of this is going to be exposed in her story. She's further down the list. It'll take me ages to get to her pictures. Yeah, and this is the war graves, the graves for the Jewish cemetery in Dublin. Yeah, yeah. Do you see the links to Irish Green and Dublin? And the bling in the middle. Yeah, Kaching for Shania Twain and the richest people called Kaching on the Forbes rich list. Jewish cemetery of Nikolsburg, yeah, the pharmaceutical company in the Fugitive movie, yeah, and there is, the pharmaceutical magnate that was the baddie, yeah, with the woman that is died last week's lover, who is the Aryan master race, Harrison, yeah, Harrison Ford. It's the same joke all through world history. The father-in-law of the Viennese banker's family is Abraham Shea Auspitz, 1732, lawyer, Jewish judge in Nikolsburg in 1755, and Oberrabbiner in Moravia, where the Protestants come from, in Kievan Rus, yet the last place to be the pagans culled in Eastern Europe in the second half of the 18th century. Yeah, that's the Moravian Protestant religion that transits all across the world into the island of America, and that is where the Rangers supporters sing about "We are the people," and that is the village people joke on Staten Island. Yeah, and all of it is in their chants and their hatred at the end of the pitch. Okay, buried in Nikolsburg grave. Okay, I'm going to move on. We're going to have to leave that. I'm going to translate it. I've done it, the translation already, and that's further down, and that is the translation that we're effectively reading. So all of the Jewish families are now accountable in Vienna, where the central bank was owned by Solomon Rothschild in the Five Arrows team. Okay, and it is the direct cover for the death camp, which is just a few kilometres to the north. Yeah, isn't it lovely? And it's taken me weeks to find it again. I knew it was there, and it will bring them down eventually. If any of these videos are allowed to circulate anywhere other than in the intel teams and all of your friends, because many of the friends are on the list of the Austrian nobility, and they live in caravans, yeah, in Exeter, where the Xmas fraud was launched. Yeah, but they're lovely when you talk to them at first, and then they bail out, and they do not respond, even on Murdoch's Skype. Right. So, Nikolsburg. This will be the maps, I think. Yeah, there you are. So there is Auspitz, there is Slovakia, there is Auschwitz Tours, there is Auspitz Gas and Nikolsburger Gas. Yeah, the streets. In wine, with the wine families having come from Frankfurt, yeah, and all of it is a mass. And there is Warsaw, and there is Katowice, but Macau and the places that the Pope was born in, yeah, that's Pope John Paul II, the first Jewish Pope, yeah, engineered entirely by the Rothschilds, like the second Jewish Pope, who was Benedict, who is a relative in the Rothschild and Bacharach bloodline, yeah, and also the Carrington Hitchcock lineages. Yeah, it's absolutely sickening. And all the Austro-Hungarian countries have aristocrats too. They're very low ranking on the lists that I'll show you later on. I wish I could show you some of the highlights for Donald's Palm Beach, yeah, in case they take me out before that comes out. It's all the massive jokes that we got about the massive mansions for Randolph Hearst and the likes, all of them massive, all of them Jewish, all of them out of the diaspora. That means that they're still looking for the fucking promised land, even although we gave them the proceeds of Israel after World War II. Yeah, Rothschild, Churchill and Balfour. Yeah, and the Balfours are explained later on. Okay, here's the search results for Palace Liban, yeah, massive palatial pads that they have in the towns. Okay, that's not going to get us very much further. I'm going to take you now back up to the listings that we've partially gone down on what they're families are and how it works out. So there's the bit that we've done already in an earlier video. That picture is new. That's the Tedescos. All you can get on the money lenders is new activities, and they're pop bands or they're authors or they're poets or they are something to do with Hollywood. Yeah, so it's Rothschild, Arnstein, Escalés, Gompertz, Kufner, Leiben, Shea, Shea, Von, oh god, let's make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so Shea von Koromla, Tedesco, never even looked at that one yet. Werthimstein, yeah, the Werthers of my hometown, and my physics teacher. The elevation into the nobility, and he, for a laugh, I sit in front of him in the Church of Scotland just to learn what they do in their frauds there, and he, when he realised that I'd gotten off the sectioning issues that they were throwing at me, yeah, he came on a pilgrimage around my house with all of his family members, yeah, and the same thing happened with those Pettigrews who've had that very tragic young death in their family, yeah, and the name Werg is quite a menace, yeah, it's part of the story, and that is the nickname of one of my favourite young friends in the rugby team that I played in. The elevation into the nobility of wealthy Jews also started the process of assimilation of Jewish families into the Austrian upper class. Right, I'll take it down until we get to somewhere that we've been before, when I then began to lose interest because it was so lengthy. Okay, there's the von and the zu, that is the preceding the surname or the Christian name. Yeah, if they're not Jews. The Austrian law does not apply to artistic performer, and there is Herbert von Karajan. You remember seeing that before? He's allowed to use that, but because the others are associated with war crimes right up to 1919, they have to take away all of their titular stuff. And there's Hayne, the one who's from South Africa and is in the British Parliament building, and there's the picture of Peter Hayne. Okay, Graf von Zeppelin empresses and warmongering weapons producers or air balloons, anti-bombing strategic salespeople and entrepreneurial people. Following the Anschluss to Nazi Germany 1938 to 45, this law remained on the books, although it was not enforced, allowing Austrian nobles to use titles freely again. Yeah, and you should see how many of the jokes there are. For example, Sissy and the Sound of Music, and it's still featured regularly in the media and literature. I found the Von Trapps for real. Okay, and there is the Emperor and Kaiser, the Empress, the Kaiserin, the agnates and the titles that they get. Prince von Hohenberg, Duke Herzog, yeah, that's the Herzogs that made the movie about taking the ship to the top of the mountain. Highness Hoheit, yeah, and that has got the Kinskis directing it, and that is the Kinski aristocrats. And the Herzog mansion is so big that you cannot have it in one page in any of the social media. Prince von Montenuovo, Margrave von Burgau, that is the Bergens, and that is the sad death of my school chum when he was in America. I don't know what he worked in, but he died really young. And the Burgenland is just in the edge of the Polish death camps too. Okay, and all of them are in those bloodlines because you see them at the aristocratic events, yeah, looking back on their lives as paupers in the towns now, but all of them are obligated to keep all of this a secret for obvious reasons, yeah, which the death camps exemplify. Baron and Baroness is Freier, Freifrau and Freien. Do you get it? Bradley Fried on the court of the Bank of England as the second in command to the Canadian Carney from Carneville in the Alps. And the Ritters, yeah, I used to play rugby with them, Del Boy Ritter at Blackheath, and there's a picture of them further down. And they worked in the stock market as stupid cockneys. Cleary and Aldridgeon. Yeah, we've done all of this, I think. Dietrichson. Yeah, my friends on Facebook now. Thank you, James Henry Fetzer, for introducing me to them. Hohenlohe. Yeah, and the Fetzers are in this story, and they're in Donald's bloodline. Kinski, von Wickenst und Tetau. There he is. Fitzcarraldo. Yeah? The Kinskis, the actresses that are in that massive palace that you saw in the frontispiece to this page. Okay, and there is the Lobs and all of the people that are in the Frankfurt ghettos. Metternich, Winnenberg, another financial house. Ottingen, this family is likely to be the naming of Göttingen, which means no God. Yeah, and is immune from bombing in World War II. And Orsini and Rosenberg are the people that are in the Amadeus movie, who I took my girlfriend from America to see, along with the Paris, Texas movie featuring the Kinskis. Yeah, and God has led me in all of that. There's the Rohans that are the people that reforged the sword in the Lord of the Rings film, and the Wittgensteins that all commit suicide because all of them launch the psychiatry movement. 3 of the 4 were successful in committing suicide. There's the Schoenbergs of the Schona Castle in the Hepburn film about going down the Nile as far as you can, and that is the Rivers of Blood joke, and it is the gin joke because they have the Ginsberg and the gins of Jew Street in Frankfurt on board, just to show that brewing and distilling is a Jewish speciality from Jew Street. Star Chambers junior members were counts. Okay, here's the Black Boroughs, yeah, and the Thun Hohensteins. These counts bore the lower style of highborn, and that's Hochgeboren, yeah. And that is now us beginning to get to new territory, I think, because all of that stuff above, we've been there before. Okay, Banfi, von Lot. So these are the lists of, what did I just say? Was it burghers or was it? These are counts, okay? Counts and countesses. Bartolotto von Partenfeld, Barth, yeah, in all of those massive comedies about the world's most influential political analysts being the Simpson family on the telly, and that is the Simpsons and Samsons of Jew Street. Okay. Right, Berchtold Bonda, House of Bondage, von Brunner Aspern, von Brunner Nubdorf. You should see the links of the Brunners and the Eva Brauns to photography and false news. Yeah, I've got it all, and I've got the gene pool sus too, and the links to the dental people that allowed all of Eva Braun's body doubles to be left outside the bunker with the rotten teeth. Yeah, in the story that Greg Hallett has told us about and has been killed for. Butler von Klonebock, House of Kaboga, Seshi a Santa Croce, the Santa Cross joke. Yeah, Santa Cruz, and all of the Hollywood outputs. Crystal Nig, yeah, family names, yeah, Kristallnacht, the genocide. Clam Gallus, Clam Martinique, von Cleary Aldringen, yeah, the chemical and chemistry companies that sell you supplies from their manuals. Yeah, and it's massive, and all of them are in the Nazi teams, or all of them pretend that they're trying to keep Austria out of the war. That's the Von Trapp belly laugh. Yeah, Consolati, yeah, Zu Heigelbrunn. Yeah, let's get down to some pictures. Okay, this is the middle. There's the Dietrichs, von Dietrich, and the Steins, Rick Stein, Colin Steen of Rangers, and all of it, all of the Bromsteins that are the boozers that make the bootleg alcohol in Canada and North America, when Joseph Kennedy, the dad of JFK, was doing the same thing. Yeah. Ferraris, Occhiepo, the ox, and the cocks, and all the jokes about the Judengas that is the ghetto in Frankfurt. Fink von Finkenstein, Fries, yeah, Bradley Fried, and all the beautiful friar women that I'm going to show you later on. Greasepatch, and she was my Facebook friends for ages, and she went to Galapagos to see all of the jokes and to share them with me like picture postcards. Yeah, I worked in a place called Straighton with her, and she had me disciplined and sent out. Hardegg, Zoo Hardegg, De La Fontaine, dat Harnecourt Universiact, Harnon Court, von Herbertstein, yeah, the Herberts, do they know it's us, the Robertians, Bertie? And here is the shocking news that Khashoggi, that is in the Bring Down the Twin Towers team, because he was at the school La Rosie in Switzerland, he is Austrian nobility. In the Alps, von Kassongi. Yeah, there's Adrian, the Aryan master race, Khashoggi, along with Al Fayed of the football club, and all the jokes about Michael Jackson and General Sir Mike Jackson, the NATO murderer, yeah, in the team that went to the Balkans and then won the Peace Prize. Yeah, there's Kissinger, and there's Kissinger and Clinton. Yeah, there's all the people that are in these scams. There is Khashoggi, von Kassongi. Yeah, just direct derivative of what the family has been called ever since they were Austrian nobility. Kuhn Belassi, von Kufstein, Kuhnenberg, yeah, the Kuhn stuff for Alf Garnett, Kuhnberg. McCaffrey of Keen-Moor, I'm not sure what that is, but that is likely to be the McCartneys now coming in, changing a few letters, and then launching the Yellow Submarine again. Yeah, and that was a topic in the pub last night. This is a nice man. He knows I'm going to bring them down. He came and shook my hands just after I had been jailed. Yeah, and when I went back to Kelso to see whether or not anything was happening that would allow me to live in peace and to make any sort of political statement without being arrested again. Yeah, Patricia Tom, she's the one who's leading my wife into this, but she tells me that my wife is leading her, and that there's no way that I can escape it. Yeah, and they've totally asset stripped me of all of the savings I had in the bank. Von Montfort, that is Simon Mountford, former editor of the Yorkshire Post, and that is Johnson Press. They are a massive mob, and they are all in debt pools because all of the government steals even from the corporates now. Von Nieperg, the one with the eye patch, title of Fürst von Montenuevo, granted to illegitimate line. That's the von Niepergs that were the illegitimate lovers of Napoleon's widow when Napoleon was still alive on Elba. Yeah, and that is the linkage of the families with the Nieperg name to Michael Ancram. They also have eye patches in the female bloodline. Gnostic Rennick, Jim Rennick, and all my dad's bowling mates. That's Jim. Yeah, that's Jim on the rugby pitch in the Scotland jersey. What I searched for was Hoik German green jersey. Yeah, because they've got all the Wilton and all the things that are the icons for Germany, and they play at Mansfield, and that is one of the massive mansions for the Jewish nobility. And that's the Rennicks. And the next one is the acts of God that ensue, yeah, that mean that Jim Rennick lives in a home where he has to wear thigh-high waders to get along the corridor. And that's the second or third flood in Hoik. And it means that the Weatherstones come up and give me death threats in the shoe shop. Yeah, that was my last visit to Kelso too, when I was able to make peace with my dad and talk to him about nothing other than sport and trivia. Orsino and Rosenberg, yeah, these are the owners of Austria and the Austrian clergy. So that is the emperor in Austria, who is the brother of the woman who was beheaded in the French Revolution. Marie Antoinette. Yeah, and he's in charge totally of everything that happens there, and that is the Archbishop is also in charge of the music and the concerts that Mozart plays for them. That's Mozart in the ludicrous wig, yeah, and further down I think we'll see the Archbishop. Okay, there's the Pars and the beheading of the Par, yeah, with Henry VIII in the divorce proceedings, like my wife. Yeah, Austrian nobility, yeah, all of the wives get sucked in because they're not allowed to be queens in Germany or anywhere across Europe. Yeah, they are allowed to be queens in Britain, and that gets their heads lopped off all the time. Right then, Potting and Pershing, yeah, that's the names. I've not edited it. That is what was listed. Potting, and not Pershing, but Percy. Yeah, do you get that? Percy, that is the Duke of Northumberland, and that is Pershing's statue there, the tank commander that I visited. There's the pictures of Pershing's tanks in World War II, and that is right outside the White House where Obama nearly ran me over on that roundabout. General Pershing's statue. They are the Austrian nobility. Do you get the Potter jokes now? Yeah, the ashes in the pots in all the films about the war dead, and the Queen sells the puppies, and there they are at the feet of the dead troops. Okay, and there's Von Puff. Puff the magic dragon. Yeah, it does not have to be war graves that cover up the tragedy. It can be cartoons and comics. Puppies are a clan in the Alps. Yeah, there is the puppy joke for them. 1001 Dalmatians, 101 maybe. Rumerskirk, Salzburg, Schallenberg or Schallenberg Castle, Schnitzer. Yeah, all of the people that tell the secrets of each side in war, so that no one knows who the loyalists are, and only the homosexuals and the political and sexual deviants survive the conflict, because the others want to do something positive, so they get killed by the monarchy, yeah, that is under threat, yeah, by people like Napoleon. But Napoleon is also married into those von Nieperg bloodlines. The Marie Theresa bloodlines. Somaji, yeah, this is a neuroscientist that I used to know, and that is the Somaji aristocrats from Austria. There is the Cortex Club, is a wonderful initiative providing a stimulating forum for the discussion of cutting-edge scientific issues. Yeah, that's Oxford and Cambridge. Professor Peter Somaji, Medical Research Council Programme Leader. Yeah, totally busted for funds, but his family are allowed to walk around, yeah, pretending that they are still the Austrian super elites. And here is Bruce Springsteen. Nadine, my American girlfriend, was keener on Bruce Springsteen than she was on me, and I took her all over Europe trying to melt her heart. That never happened. She is in the nobility families too. So is Bruce. Yeah, do you get the links to genocide? And that is the Spring Harbour scientific programs and everything they do to try and launch toxins and massive financial initiatives to get the poor people dead and the numbers down. Okay, Springsteen is in the mafia. Okay, Sternberg, Sturg, yeah, and there is the Sturgeon link. Yeah, another one, Karl Sturg, yeah, and he is the Austrian politician and minister president of Cis-Lithuania, where Salomond, yeah, the Austrian name, took the Scottish civil service to Leith, yeah, and built a massive new building there, because St Andrew's House was going to get decimated by the stories I've told about St Andrew never living, and St Andrew's House cross being the cross keys for the Vatican, and the declaration that none of the religious truths that we are telling you are truths at all. It's all the biggest scam in the world. Sturgeon, stuck, descended from a Styrian. Yeah, do you get the Syrian conflicts now? Noble family, that's Styria in the Alps, in Donald's Upper Palatinate. Yeah, do you get it? All of it is totally corrupted, totally evil. It's about killing everything that moves for profit. 24th Minister President of Cis-Lithuania, where the genocides occurred for the wealth on the Russian steppes. All of that proclaimed to Field McConnell, and the McConnells are in the dirty story further down. Nicola Sturgeon, St Andrew's House, Civil Service, Lithuania. Stronger, yeah, you believe it if you like, they're all wimps. Yeah, and the wimps are in the bloodlines too. Straight up. Teleki, the Von Sex, the families that my family, that my auntie's family have married into. They're lovely, totally impoverished, out of Africa. Ter Lago, St John. Yeah, the jokes about Iago and Lagos the Rabbit, and Winston Churchill's massive warmongering coalitions. Turn Valsacina, yeah, that's Turn and Taxi, the yellow cabs, yeah, and all of the people that are the rugby players for Italy. I forget what their name is. Walter Kirschen, Freiherr zu Wolfstal, yeah. The wolves are in the ghetto in Naples, they're in Rome, and it all leads back to there. Yeah, and eventually Naples, where the whole of the story, there's the wimps. You would not believe it. Yeah. As it was written, Wickenburgs. Yeah, the Wiccans that are the pagans and the witches, yeah, that celebrate all of the quarters of our years and dance around the bonfires, they are also the Austrian fucking nobility. And that is all the jokes about Quatre Bras, and you'll see the brazier joke further down. Wolanski, yeah, the person that wrote the movies, that's him. Roman Polanski movies. One letter, yeah. Wolkenstein, Vratislav von Mitrovic, von Zicki, Ferraris, a Formula 1. Von Zinzendorf, this is not funny. That is I forget what his name is in the rugby team for New Zealand. It's a direct derivatisation of that, and that's him having a laugh at the end of his career. What was his name? Zinzan something or other. Okay, Friar, Freifrau, and this is the Baron and Baroness titles. Yeah, there's the man that has been alleged to be dead already, and we're not allowed to speculate on that because he's a manic depressive, because he is also, like those psychiatrist people, part of the Bloomsbury set and part of the historic joke, yeah, that we will laugh at the war dead, and Rowan Atkinson is consoling him because the world is now taking the piss out of him. Okay, further information, last of the barons of Austria and Hungary. Yeah, that's Naj Frau, Nadigjes Fraulein, yeah. And that is Friar. Yeah, do you get that in the clerical joke all through world history? Friar Tuck for Robin Hood. Yeah, and even my greatest hero, that is the English actor that played Robin Hood, he is part of the munition scams in World War II, along with those people in that Philadelphia story that I told you about the other day. There's Von Arnstein. She's beautiful. Yeah, she's got her tits all over the place. Yeah, before she got rich enough to put them back in place behind the Quatre Bras. Okay, and there is Strausenberg, and that is the woman the gods have been playing. I forget what you called the woman that was with a huge nose, that was the pop singer in America when I was just a boy. Okay, Von Augustin for Donald's courses. Yeah, there is Auschwitz, not Auspitz. Yeah, It's not. Yeah, and there is the railway joke that we'll see on the other tab. Von Auspitz. Yeah, do you see it? And there is Poland, and there is Auschwitz tours. And there is the gas in Russell Nicholson's Nicholsburg. Yeah, I wouldn't have ever believed it. And all of them know it through all of their lives, and they just go around making buffoons of themselves, and they try to apologise to me 2 weeks before I learned this horrible information. There's more names. Von Bach, all the composers are in the team. Bloomberg is in the team. Yeah. And Von Baselli, Berger, Voldenegg, Berlakovich. They said last night at the pub, you must not look at the burgers, you must not eat burgers in this town. All of it is the same joke. Don't know how they read the future, but they can do it. Chudovsky, Van Pfaffen, yeah, the Edith Piaf and all the Eiffel Tower jokes that Donald is sharing. And I think I've got it. It's the fanny, yeah. It's the fanny and the cloven hoof at the end. Okay, Edith Piaf, von Columbus is the Austrian nobility. Yeah, sailed out of Genoa in Italy, which is marked there on the top left. Yeah, in Italian blue. Yeah, that's the soldier blue joke for all of the people like my wife that asset stripped the great democracies all over the world. And she used to think it was hilarious to negotiate the pay rises with the Maoris that get killed by the white master race. Okay, Von Escales and that guy that was, and here's my lovely pharmacy colleague, yeah, lost my job because I'm incompetent. Lorna Fryer, Boots the chemist, actress with a beautiful ass, then became my Facebook friend, and as I began to get closer to her scams about visiting the Galapagos Islands and all the bizarre jokes that the Freemasons and she shares, look her up on the internet. If you do it really quickly, you'll see her taking the piss out of Shakespearean actresses' roles. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman, probably the most beautiful one I've ever met, but she has got a blackhead from Jew Street on her left cheek. Yeah, that's the Jew Streets and the blackhead families that are in Frankfurt. Yeah, and she is, and I've recognised it ever since I was thrown out of Boots, and that she is the nurse beauty that is the friars and the people that are in those nurse stories, like Thor. Yeah. Lorna Fryer, and good luck to you, Lorna. I hope you enjoy your superficial career. Bank of England. There is Bradley Freed. Yeah, the friars have followed me all around. Yeah, there were friars on the board at Plexus, which is my wife's company. Yeah, and this is Von Frolickstall, and she was really good at frolicking. In the coffee room, she used to recite things and sing songs, and she's really talented. If she could turn our attention to politics, she would be a really powerful force. But all of it is so trivial, it's amazing. Look her up on the internet, Von Frolickstall. Yeah. And there is the massive, iconic shields and everything that they have for every one of these family lines. Yeah. It's only when you cannot find anything that relates to modern day stuff that you have to search it. And the mansions, the slushes, yeah, that's the candy slush joke. There's Geiger in the right stuff, and Gompertz is in the seven-a-side tournaments in fucking Hong Kong. Yeah, that England win. Yeah, I think he was a standoff in the seven-a-side game. Von Gitali Gondola. Yeah, that's a family. That's a gondola. When you go to Christchurch, the joke about the cathedral, there is the fudge selling shop. That is Christianity and selling it off. Yeah, that is where the massive earthquake occurred. When you go to the park next door, you're not allowed, for health and safety reasons, to do the gondolas without a tour guide and giving them a massive payment to get access. Yeah, and that's the Azure Blue Rivers, all of which are stitched up, and there are the mansions for these families. Von Hesse, yeah, you've heard of him. There he is. Hesses of Hamilton. Yeah, NHS Scotland. That is Hesse Cassel and the first employers of Rothschild. Yeah, Prince William. Jorger von Toilet, extinct since 1772. Josh Toilet, for whom the bell tolls in those church towers. Okay, Babenberg, and that is stunning. That is what I got when I looked for Babenberg. You get Bamborough Castle. Yeah, it's on, it tells you here, I did not know it, it's on a volcanic outcrop, and that is where they made the El Cid film, with the people pretending that they were carrying swords, carrying fucking golf clubs. K. von Babenberg, that's Baben House, outside Edinburgh, and that is Baben, I can't remember what it is, just outside Frankfurt. That was the first moneylender function, yeah, for the Rothschilds. Mats von Spiegelfeld, von Menschingen, yeah, and that is John Menzies. Do you see it? Menshingen. Yeah, and we've got further down O'Connell, yeah, and this is the coincidence that all the places I loved in Scotland, that is the Connell Bridge and the Connell Ferry, and that is a massive cataract, and that's God's work, because these are the jokers from the Austrian master race. Field McConnell. Falls of Lorne, massive cataracts running through that, and there's another act of God, the rainbow in behind. Von Oppenheimer, that is not God's work. Yeah, that is absolutely sinister. That is Margaret Hodges' ancestors that delivered the bomb, yeah, that were from the universities in Göttingen and Heidelberg, and then went to America so that that could happen in Japan, who was actually, they were actually their allies, and they are still their allies on the G8 countries when they meet all across the world. Here's the other, yeah, this is the Piso Fanny again, von Van Zelter, yeah, Jim Vetzer, and Alka-Seltzer. It's in Donald's bloodline, this one. Heilwig Fancester, and let me show you the Pi Piso Donald joke about that being the Piso female vagina. Where is it? Yeah, so there it is. So it's the Sangerin and Schaus Peiterin, yeah, the pie joke about every one of these people being there to show off their sexual assets, and it being that ancient history joke about the Fanny being the Piso name for the Bible authors. Fanny Seltzer this time for the pharmaceutical frauds. And Donald's family tree, yeah, with the Seltzers on it. And this one, they've taken the hyperlinks off the web page that I'm citing here. I've got it on this computer here, and they've taken off all of the information that was on it the first time I made it. Even the names of the families they've taken off. Yeah, many of them you cannot find now, because this has all been archived for nearly 2 years. Anton von Poljak from Croatia. Yeah, that is the Jason Ovak concentration camp. That's the Odyssey joke again. Yeah, about this everybody being trailed around the world. Killed around 100,000, consisting of Serbs 45 to 52,000, Romanis 15 to 20,000, Jews 12 to 20, Croats and Bosnian Muslims 5 to 12,000. Isn't it lovely? And we got the Peace Prize for that. And Charles Guthrie of Dundee was leading the armies, and General Sir Mike Jackson was falling out with the people that ran the Waco scam to cover them up. Yeah, and there is von Pusher, Reichenbach, Kadow and Zollwaxing, and that is Meganhausen, and that is the launch of Prince Harry's girlfriend, Meghan Markle, shares her experience, and that is Merkel, and the possibility that Merkel is Hitler's daughter. Yet by insemination, like all of the Rothschilds, imposed on Queen Victoria. Von Rejlander normally used the title Baron, and that is Highlander. And that is Sean Connery, and the Connell jokes that you've just seen. He is a massive traitor. Poor man, when he left Edinburgh, he's in the brewing industry, which is in the Judengasse in Frankfurt. Von der Rothschild normally used the title Baron. The first one to use Baron was the one with the zebra towing the cart, and that is Jesus, the wild ass in the Bible. And that's Nathan and his dad Jacob, and Henry Kissinger is near death now. He was on the telly last night talking up Donald and what might happen in the extinction threat that we now have. Zeeburg the Saltass, when my wife took me for my last decent dinner in Berwick-on-Tweed, there was no salt in the house, in the restaurant, and that is salting the water. Her relatives are the salters, massive money launderers in the Watford region for Elton John and the Rothschilds of that region, who are actually the one who was the drug addict movie in Scotland and in the Star Wars films. Do you get the Star Wars now? It's everything that takes the attention of the people off the crimes of the leaders, and that is the Hohenzollerns and the people that are related to the Archduke, that are the closest physically to the godfathers that I've ever seen in my life. They are in the previous videos that I've made on this topic, and they come up under Schneeberg Zoo Salthouse, and Schneeberg, I'm not sure, sorry, that's, so that was just the Google Images search, and that is the Archduke's dad. The young Archduke now is very young indeed, in his mid-20s. And there's Jeff Rents, the man that I've talked up so much with Field McConnell on his capacity to dissect all of the oil scams and all of the big banking scams with my mate from the place that is from the river runs through it place for Brad Pitt, that is the air base in Montana that Field McConnell and I discussed so much. Jeff Rents, and he is the Rentses and the Ronces of the Austrian nobility. That's why he's got big motorbikes, and he makes the other investigative journalists jealous. Here's the von Seilers, that are the Stillers, and the Sellers in the Mountbatten family, and the illegitimate children of Mountbatten. And that is the cover-up of Queen Victoria's illegitimate child, who was raised by on the Isle of Wight, and that's why Peter Sellers made the Being There movie. Von Schmelzereisen, this is the smelting joke for my girlfriend from America. When we went, Nadine Schneider and I went to Inverness, and the aluminium smelter is there, and we had a little tiff on how you pronounce aluminium. The Schneiders are in the Austrian nobility, a little bit further down. Von Stadak zu Freien, Thurn and Ehrenegg. All of the Scottish Isles are named after the frauds. And it's just amazing. And my friends are out on a Scottish Isle defending some of their friends in a law court this week. Got several days to make videos and to keep the house tidy, otherwise I get evicted. St Colman, the Calmans, in their Jemind, Griffin. There's Frank Griffin, my mate in New Zealand. There he is again on the left hand side of that picture. That's him getting his royal affiliation. He becomes a Royal Society member for stealing £66 million from New Zealand's agricultural budgets and slopping it into the Queen's massive wealth. And he's the one that arranged to play golf with me in the last few days. He was the chair of the inquest into my bad behaviours that got me booted out of the university, and then when I appealed I got £26,000, and half of that is now in my wife's account. Slush Freien Touren, Wikipedia, the Touren and taxis jokes, the friars that you've just seen, all the beautiful women since the North gods, were the friars, were the goddesses of love and beauty. Sipnie, with the word Piso in it, yeah, Ritter von Odrowas, yeah, and that is the Rutherfords and the Rutherford mafias that eventually helped invent the nuclear power stations and the bomb in New Zealand, and won the Nobel Prize. And there is Thavana Thavon, which could be Teviotdale, but could be the Avon joke, and even the tiny little Avon next to the massive in the West Country, you've got the Severn that has a tidal wave. There's the Avon's tidal wave, because these people work against the gods in the heavens. Yeah, and because they canalise everything, this is God's way of getting some action back. Ludwig Albrecht Thavenat von Even. Okay, Ludwig Albrecht Thavenat von Even died July 1719, son of Jacob and Anna. And let's get moving. Tyson, Bornemissa de Casson. Yeah, this is the woman that is Hans Henrik August Gabor, Baron Tyson Bornemissa de Casson, and there is Zsa Zsa Gabor, who died a couple of weeks ago. They're in state panic. Yeah, she's not quite as attractive when she passed on as she was when she was the actress through all of those Hollywood golden days. Yeah. And Tyson is the boxer, and here are the real Tysons that are the power brokers. And this is the Born Leisure joke for Butlins again. Okay, Born Missa, Hans Heinrich Tyson, Wikipedia, Baron Tyson de Casson, noted industrialist and art collector. Yeah, theirs is art. Von Tedesco, Jock Todd. Yeah, I hope your kidneys are better. Yeah, and I hope that you allow the Harlequins that you've looked after since I was a Harlequin in the rugby team, yeah, to have their Facebook page back, and to allow free speech in the tiny town of Kelso, yeah, where the Cross Keys for false religion is right in the heart of the town square. There is Jaeger, yeah, and that is the Air Force pilot that was Jaeger, and they've got the St Andrew's Cross joke on their hats. And when you see the hat from that side, you see that it's a St Andrew's Cross. When you see the hat from the same side, you see that it is not a St Andrew's Cross. And that Jesus is probably behind that somewhere. Yeah, and it's Mick Jagger down below, this time in the Australasian, the stealing of the whole of the Australasian Aryan master race, Austria. Yeah, that's Australasia again. That is Mick Jagger playing Ned Kelly. The Kellys are in the financial services frauds with the Mitterrands and the Pompidoux in fucking Paris. Yeah, on the Rothschilds' boards and in their family trees. Wetzler von Plankenstern. Yeah, this is the walking the plank for the Hoffmans. Hitler is very interesting. Hitler's wife was not his wife until they got in the bunker. Yeah, and the media just invented that. Yeah, so the only pictures of Hitler and Eva Braun before they got in the bunker, they got married within 24 hours of their deaths. Yeah, Wetzler von Plankenstein is a Hoffman. The Hoffmans were the company that ran the photography company that Eva Braun worked for in her little blue dresses. Yeah, and all the Bill Clinton jokes that I've shared with you in recent times. Yeah, all the Winston Churchill cigar tubes, yeah, to bring them to their second comings, yeah, and to carry the insemination fluids that allow Winston Churchill to sire the Queen and Bill Clinton. Wetzler von Plankenstern and the Sterns of the poetry and the financial services. Wagner von Werbron. This is Thor and all of the Norse myths, and what the humans turn that into is Thor attending his sister Freya's wedding. Yeah, do you get the Friar, the Austrian nobility now, and the pharmacy people, the master race in the pharmacy? Yeah, the Ride of the Valkyrie, about the killings of all of Hitler's enemies by Hitler's friends who are English, yeah, and English speaking all over the world. Wagner von Verbron is the fucking Austrian master race nobility. Von Weirness, and this is the Ritter of Kelso High School. Yeah, they also came on a pilgrimage past my home with the Pettigrews, taking the piss, and sadly it led to the death of that girl. And they do not see it coming, nor did I when I was just a bimbo in the rugby team. Yeah, but I can know the difference between good and evil, and it's all the way through this story. Okay, von Wildmansek, the Sek name again, former relatives out of Africa, von Westenholz, and Piers von Westenholz, the joke about Naples and Brighton and the pier that is St. Peter that never lived, for Coldplay. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter won't call my name, 'cause he never lived. Von Westenholz. Ritter, the knight, hears Blackheath Rugby Club again, and Adele has risen to prominence since I made the video on maybe dating Adele when I was blind drunk, when I was playing for Blackheath Rugby Club and Mick Skinner's team. Yeah, and the Rutters, Dale Rutter, worked on the fucking stock exchange, and he was a stupid, ordinary working cockney. Played hooker for the team. Yeah, Mick Skinner, the English international, played flanker for the team, and he's been disappeared from the rugby commentary world. Yeah, it's just amazing that the whole of them are prepared to laugh at the whole of our incompetent world, and they've got so many Rolls Royces in the membership for Blackheath Rugby Club that they have not been able to change their decrepit stadium through all of the time since I played there, when I was working with Commoner Kate's mum at the Thames Polytechnic. And the Thames explosions and all of that was the launch of the mosques and the Islamic menace out of their heads into the front page of the papers to keep the world in fear. All of them, same families. Yeah, with the Auschwitz fear-mongering stories. Yeah, and here is the thing that maybe killed Carrie Fisher. Okay, so this is another set of classifications. The Nodiger Hers was a form of address. The title was for males only. No female version existed. Okay, Nadiger Her, and here is the Edler honour, and that is what they were talking about in the elder jokes last night in the pub. And I said, is it something to do with the elders in religion? And they said, no, everything is to do with the false religion for these murderous families. This is the Block family and the Brodnags. Yeah, another Bond actor. Okay, and there is the Block for her. Yeah, and there is the Fisher of the Fisher nobility in Austria, with the joke about assassinating all of the queens, because I'm in the Star Wars team and we can rob you, yeah, and we run the propaganda without you ever noticing that it's the same families that were in power, yeah, as the moneylenders in World War I. And there is Theresa May, née Brazier, and there is the von Brazer bloodline, and that's what the suit she was wearing on the news last night. And there is von Efrusi, and there is their mate Putin, the golf club joke. Yeah, and the Epsteins are all over Europe and all over financial services. Friedman, Ritter, von Prawn, Proy, okay, von Graben, von Steen, and there is both Rickstein with the little fishes, which are his prick, yeah, and there is Collinstein of Rangers, yeah, all of them in the same lineages, out of the master race. Von Grumpenberger, I've not to eat burgers in this region, it's dangerous for me. Grumpy, in all of this the fairy stories that the children are obligated to listen to. Here is Hanisch von Griffenthal, Ritter von Ryle, yeah, railing, yeah, and railing with his finger pointing like Hitler, and there is the railing of the Jews, so that all of them can go to Auspitz and have a laugh. Yeah, if they're rich, if they're poor, they end up in shallow graves. Okay, von Karajan, he's allowed to do anything he likes because he's an entertainer like everyone in the Star Wars team. Right, I think we're going to run out of batteries soon. 75 minutes. Lucky Luciano, this is the killing of the returning troops. This is Nixon's fraud. In Italy, he sent Lucky Luciano and the mobsters from the docklands in America with automatic weapons to meet them in the docks in the Med and to kill all of the French and Italian troops that were a menace to these mafia leaders. Von Miller of H. Holtz, yeah, see von Rumpoy and Charlemagne below. Okay, there's Pellinor, von Pellendorf, Pelly, the knight in Camelot. There's no picture of him because it's really embarrassing, that one. Do you remember the old man? And when Pelly, the football player, gets old, he gets a wobbly prick when he's trying to make love to his favourite ones in the jousting contests, yeah, and that means the launch of the Viagra for Pelly. It's the same joke. It's the elderly knight in the Camelot story, yeah, and Richard Harris, the Harrison master races of Butlins, yeah, and the Rolf Harris of the Quatre Bras, yeah, for our new Prime Minister. Yeah, it's just amazing that they can get away with it for so long. Here's von Rumpler in the Austrian nobility, and there is von Rumpoy, who won the Charlemagne prize, which is a joke about killing the pagans ever since Charlemagne started off the holy fucking Roman German Empire massacres out of the I can't mind which town it was, right next to Frankfurt. Charlemagne, I can't remember what, could be the place that Donald's associated with still. The Schneider, here's my girlfriends, yeah, yeah, now in America, now in the massive religious city of Los Angeles. Yeah, the Joli, yeah, the Jolis and the Schneiders. Oh, I had not put it together until now. This is the Joli link to Alex Salmon 2. Yeah, the Austrian Schneiders, Salomon Rothschild, who lived in hotels, owned the whole of that Viennese central bank, killed the Archduke and the Archduke's son, yeah, took over the Archduke's shooting lodge, and it is totally ruthless, and he gets a prize for the killing of all of the pagans across the world since Charlemagne launched that and made his multiple wives saints, yeah, because they became Christians after the first one he married was a pagan. It's absolutely lethal. Yeah, I did not get the Joli thing until now. She was on rehab too. Yeah, she's with Pitt from the yeah, from the death camps in that story that we just told you. Auspitz. Yeah, do you get it? Brad Pitt. River runs through it. He's in all the families and is related to the Bushes and the FDRs and the Pilgrim Fathers and Madonna and the people that got me jailed in Kelso. The Schneider, the Jazol, and here's the Schneider in Indiana Jones's films about the Nazis being beautiful blonde Aryan women, called Schneider from the Austrian nobility, and because they were my girlfriends. Yeah, when I nearly died in a town called Belgium, where a treaty was signed by Longshanks that said Scotland will never be free because salmon and sturgeon, yet that you now understand, are in charge of our campaign. And there's the Shona Castle in that massive Hepburn film. The Hepburns are claimants to the Scottish throne, and she plays Queen Mary, yeah, with those buns. That is the Mickey Mouse joke for the claimants who are going to get killed. This is Von Black, and that is Conrad Black, and those is his newspaper empires run out of Canada. Yeah, Selecki is Celebi, who is the head of Interpol, and on my website you can find the letters that I've sent to him, and I have the receipts for revealing all of the frauds. He is a Selecki of the Austrian nobility, and they launched in that year that I wrote that. Before that, the secret services and the policing companies, organisations in South Africa are the scorpions, and that is the scorpions that are launched into popular culture